जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत।
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
চেন্নাই বেলুড়ু তিরুচিরাপল্লী হায়দ্রাবাদ উপচার এক্সপ্রেস পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दो।
Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Saiyami Kher and I have really missed this IPL Express at Cricbuzz. I got off the train 10 days ago and when I've got back on, the points table is so crowded it feels like a Mumbai local train. I have no idea who's going to make it to the playoffs, but I've got our experienced station masters in the house, Harsha Bhogle and Bhattacharjya, who have all the answers. Welcome to the show.
Where's the flag? I'm only flagging one train. There's only one train I'm flagging, and that is GT. I said yesterday you can start engraving a Q against their name. So GT I'm flagging off. See, you came to me first, so I said what I do.
He took away the one sure shot he took away.
Yeah, GT answers somebody that even the last benchers who know no maths know that GT is in. But we
hit
need
back.
the
That
mathematicians
hurt.
in the house to explain these combinations and this confusion that's happening and the points table.
Okay, I want to say first and foremost, my grandfather was a station master.
Oh.
So really, seriously.
Which station?
Lots of stations, but one in the main station that he started off was a place called Hamilton Ganj, where my father was born in 1925. So 50 years later, we
You
actually
grew up in Hamilton Ganj?
No. 50 years later, my father did, but we went back. And because it's one of these Northeast, North Bengal, small stations, the places where my father has etched his name on the wooden desk.
It's still there?
It's still there. It's so
I think
amazing.
you have to write your name on our white desk here because he's a station master. Yeah?
Okay, but Joy might take it, but GK might take it away.
He will
Not like
take it
he
and-
takes away
yeah, yeah.
everything.
No, GK likes the red table. He doesn't like the...
Every day I
white.
come out here and heave a sigh of relief that the furniture is still there. He has taken red tables, white bags, everything is, he's just... And his driver Ajit is there to take the car and quick getaway drive.
Run away. We'll see who's running away on the points table also.
Yeah.
Because, well, GTS is at the top. Today's game, of course, Chennai takes on Delhi, who's at number 10, but we can't rule them out yet.
No, you can't rule them out yet. At this point in time, everybody can reach 16 points. Because if you see the teams that are there on 8 points, if they win both their games, if they win all 4 of their games, they're on 16 as well. So theoretically, everyone at this point can reach 16.
I think though that there are a couple of head-to-heads. So say, I think there's a Bangalore-Rajasthan game. So in that kind of head-to-head, one team will...
One team will drop out.
Yeah,
But
so
at
we'll have
this
to
point,
start-
at this point, nobody's out. But tomorrow, I mean, today if Delhi lose 4 and 7, 14 would be very difficult to qualify. It's mathematically possible, but it needs lots of results to go your way for that to happen.
So Delhi and Rajasthan, there's something there. Delhi are doing what Rajasthan did and Rajasthan are doing what Delhi did
And
midway through.
With midway through, because I think Delhi's got 4 of their last 5 games.
Yeah.
So
which is exactly what RR did.
In the first,
RR won 4 out of 5 and then lost 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at that stat as well because very interesting. Chennai also come in, of course, with the win in their last game against MI. That, well, no result rain was something Chennai would have wanted that
They
game
were
to have
well
some
placed,
result.
in that game. They were well placed
Yeah.
in that game, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, what 135, 140 they were chasing, right? It was a good. It was their game.
It was their
And
game.
had their rain been there a bit, it would have been even better because that meant that the spinners of Lucknow spinners couldn't have used the pitch very well. So yeah, it was they would have been felt more hard done by the result than LSG would have.
But well, 4 out of 5 wins for Delhi. Finally, Ponting and Saurav Ganguly. The cameras pan to them. Finally, there's something nice to see there. The smiling faces. There's some. Otherwise, the expression was always this, always this. The expressions were just covering their face. The last 5 games, it's finally what Delhi fans want to see.
And somehow I think, I don't know if that is the way they want to play it, but because Nokia is not available, they had the option of playing all the 4 overseas batters at the top. And that seems to work because Salt has taken off. Marsh only plays that way. Now they want Russo to take off. In the last game against RCB, he started hitting the ball well. As we know, Riley Russo can hit. If those 4 start to get going, it overcomes one big problem that they have, which is none of their Indian batters have done well. I think we had a graphic that they've played 20, 22 players. A lot of them have been middle order batters. That has not worked for them. So if they can continue with these 4 and hope that the Indian bowlers do the trick, led by the young man, Ishant Sharma, then
Well, Chennai's won the toss and they've decided to bat first. Joy, you think it's going to be one of those tracks where they've probably watered it, let the sun come down, and they want the ball to turn a lot?
Apparently, they were saying it's a dry pitch.
Yeah, I saw Hedos and Dooley doing the pitch report, and he said it's dry. They both said you bat first. So my feeling is this is exactly what Chennai want. 160 they make 160, 170, and they might play 3 spinners. Who are they playing? See, even David Warner said it's dry.
So yeah, and what's interesting about this is that they also are putting Delhi's strong suit up front.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they know that if they can put that 160 up front and they put that pressure on them, they are not allowing Delhi to do the running, put that 170, 180 and create a situation where then, a couple of wickets go down, you don't know what to do. You have a situation where you are doing the running, you're putting the total on the board, you're deciding the game. That every team right now would be a bit tentative about Delhi's top 4. Because it's a powerful top 4. If it gets going, they can get you results, So Chennai will want that game under their control. And that's what they're trying to do by setting a total as well.
This IPL has shown us something that age is just a number. You've already touched upon.
Thank you so much. I always thought you were the kindest person on the program. So thank
So
you.
you, me and Prince Charles, King Charles, we all think the same.
Yes.
And Joe Biden. He's just going back again.
Yeah, but age is just a number both ways. We're not only saying that side of the mountain, but also this side of the mountain, because there has been
Your side of the mountain, okay.
Patirana's side of the mountain.
I got it.
I'm still, I think, climbing towards that side. So Patirana's side of the mountain, I'd love to be 20. I'd really love to be 20, but Patirana's side of the mountain.
Can't remember. But yeah,
He's been somebody who, so there is Patirana, we'll chat about him first, and there is Ishant Sharma, who's on the other side of the mountain. Both have been heartwarming stories. Patirana, of course, if you want to ever be a quiz master and you have somebody like Joy Bhattacharya mentoring you, or if you want to be a broadcaster and you have Harsha Bhogle mentoring you, that's what Patirana must be feeling, because he has MS Dhoni mentoring him, He is, Dhoni is there saying that, writes those letters to the board saying we want him. Then he'll say, slyly say that he should not play red ball cricket. He's kind of saying how he should play his cricket. A mentor you'd want, MS Dhoni.
And they've used him so well. They've thrown him in. They've given him the difficult overs to do. They said you're only going to bowl at the back end. And when you bowl at the back end, mentally you have to be ready to be 2 for 42. You got to be even more ready to be none for 48. I said, right, those days too will come when I will be none for 48. But he's getting a lot of wickets. What he's allowed MS to do is he said, okay, my back 4 I've taken care of. Now let me see how I play the front part. And there the return of Deepak Chahar has been a big plus for them. So now he can play Deepak Chahar the way he wants to, which is up at the top and not hold him back at the back. So sometimes he's had to hold Chahar back, and that's not been playing to his strength. So Chahar up front, Patirana at the back, and just squeeze with spin in the middle.
Yes.
And I think today is going to be the Boa day.
Constrictors.
He's just going to squeeze with spin.
But Joy, just a little bit on Patirana, because Eric Simmons also spoke about how, yes, he's 20, but his maturity and calmness has really stood out for him. He said that he's somebody who's just shows a sense of great maturity beyond his age.
No, I totally agree, because you see his expression and you see the way when he's bowling first very difficult overs. These are not easy overs to bowl, and high quality. Think of a guy who's not played almost no first class cricket, and from there straight on you're playing with the most professional, the most richest, most successful, the highest standard league in your sport in the world. And for you to go straight out there in front of so many screaming fans and maintain your equanimity. And literally in Chennai, when they play, you can't hear a thing. I mean, Chennai is so loud normally that you can't hear a thing. So it's not even that you're getting too many instructions and all. You've got to hold your nerve, you've got to know. And I think he's done a marvelous job. And temperament in his position, exactly the kind of overs he's bowling. If you lose it, like happens to so many, it happens to young Yash Dayal Poch kid, you are just going to go. Because the batsman out here, it is so much a batter's game rather than a bowler's game out here, that even a slight lapse in concentrations, that fear coming into you, it could be lethal.
His last game, I think economy was 3.75 is what it was.
He bowled out 4 overs, 3 for 15.
Yeah, and those 3 wickets. So it's everything that Dhoni wants. But even for Delhi, Ishant Sharma is everything that David Warner wants because he's almost been that lucky factor. The last, I think he's played 6 or 5 games and Delhi's won 4 out of those 5 games.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching you and I'm watching the screen behind. And you said he's been lucky, and immediately the word luck now came. And because you're sitting there, I couldn't see the second half of the word, and I thought the timing was perfect. You're saying lucky, and luck came up there. But you know, Ishant Sharma knows what it is to be Patirana, because he at 1920 was coming up, and he was suddenly this big player. And there's something very, I mean, you don't say that about a fast bowler. Something very cute about Ishant Sharma, especially for if you've seen the Cricbuzz docu on pace. Suddenly you see a side to Ishant Sharma. And I asked him during one of the games, I said, so you're sitting out, the younger players coming? He said, I don't care, I'm just having so much fun. And I think that is what is responsible for him coming back. Suddenly, he's not playing for goals, he's not playing for targets. I remember VVS Lakshman telling me once, midway through his career, he went and played for Lancashire in the county season. And he said, I went there, I went with family. Every evening I'm coming back, I'm coming home, you know, it's a nice little place they've given me. And I suddenly realized this is the reason I started playing cricket again, which is not worried about what is happening. I just want to go there and have fun. And I wonder if Ishant Sharma, must ask him that, I wonder if Ishant is just reaching that stage where he says, I'm just going to have fun. And so there's no pressure, he's bowling beautifully.
I was there with him with his first season. And literally, I have seen Ishant's voice break. So when he joined KKR, his voice is still not broken. He was, you know,
he's still not a Pandya.
That voice, so that it was in transition.
Boy to man transition.
Yeah, so boy to man transition. So it would, suddenly his voice would change. And from that, Ishant, and the amount of pressure on him in those days, because he was the most expensive player, it was held out, so difficult. He did really well in that first season when there was so much pressure, but he didn't enjoy himself. And I remember,
didn't enjoy himself?
No, he didn't enjoy himself. Because the pressure was just way too much on him. In those days, the kind of pressures that you have. Then South Africa was a terrible experience for all of KKR. But those 3 years, he was in a pressure cooker. Because if you're in KKR, you are also, it is also a team that gets more media limelight and everything. So when he went after that year to the Deccan Chargers, it was almost a relief to him. And I think from there on, he's looked on IPL as something he does on the side. And Test cricket is what he's there for.
You know, the year he didn't play the IPL actually benefited him the most. He went and played a whole season in England and could just focus on his bowling. That was the start of the second wind for Ishant Sharma in Test cricket. And his numbers after that are incredible. They're on par with anybody in world cricket. Now I think he's just happy. Let's see, I'd love to see how he goes today, because he's got that knuckleball. Maybe he's not as sharp as he was. I'd love to see speeds today. Maybe not as sharp as before. But I'm enjoying watching him play.
You know, it's Ishant Sharma is still very young when I compare him to what I'm going to compare him to. But like Gulzar Saab told me that at 85 also, I'll keep learning. That's what life is. That if at some point I stop learning, it means life's done. There's no purpose to life. So with Ishant Sharma also, you see him with that knuckleball. That ball to Vijay Shankar was like the ball of the season. Because he's clearly practiced it a lot to get it to that kind of execution. So he's just continuously learning.
He's continuously learning, and just look at the spirit of the guy. The year before this, where do you see? You see him in the IPL in an ad. You don't see him in the IPL. The only time you see him is during the breaks in the IPL. And from there to come back, make it, do what it is. Both he and Piyush Chawla have been just, any youngster following this game should just look at those two careers and you know exactly what's happening out there. These are it's not a linear, because our problem is we judge careers with the Kallises and the Tendulkars of the world. You go like this. It doesn't happen. Most careers are not like that. And these guys are absolutely fantastic examples of, never give up. Just go there, keep bowling, keep practicing.
We must make one of those 11s and see how that 11 stacks up. Dhoni as captain.
Yeah.
Ishant Sharma, Piyush Chawla. We must start looking at that. If Kedar Jadhav scores runs, Kedar Jadhav.
11 is quite there, because even with, I will make fun of me, but Ajinkya and what has happened to him.
I had to. You tossed the ball up there. You tossed it up there.
I put it there.
She's no full toss outside off stump.
She's been a batter. I literally tossed it up there. I said, okay, come, I'm holding it back. Go.
And you could see the glee on her face.
See, it's just so heartwarming when you see people in their second innings come and do what they do. Of course, even with Piyush Chawla, with Ishant Sharma, so many names this IPL, and Amit Mishra, we can't forget. It's also the impact rule which has really helped them. So if we have that 11, then that impact rule, well, we don't know who will come in and who will go. we should have a look at the playing 11
Yes.
because we'll have to talk about today's game. That's what we are here for. So we'll have a look at Chennai's playing 11. With Chennai, well, nothing really changes. They go ahead with, this is their batting 11. So, well.
I'm trying to think of a parallel for Chennai's playing 11. What could be a parallel for Chennai's playing 11? Wherever you go, it's always the same. It's very predictable. It's very correct. They don't fool around just like that. They probably make the fewest changes that any team makes. Yeah, I mean, we didn't need to put that up.
Yeah.
We knew exactly what their playing 11 was going to be.
Yeah, there's just the discussion's sake because we know that Ben Stokes is fit. So discussion's sake, could he fit in somewhere?
So
but
Ben
where?
Stokes was fit. Not picked therefore, if we can make that assumption, and Patirana is. Can you imagine, in that little town in Sri Lanka, they're saying our Patirana played and Ben Stokes did not play. This is what happens in the IPL because it's such a, you play small roles. You're playing 20-minute roles, 25-minute roles. Literally, sometimes you just got a walk-on part. Sometimes you got a speaking role. I'm trying to get your language, but I'm struggling. But sometimes you just play that role. It's like in a movie, someone comes and has a great 10-minute role. So Patirana only has to play well for 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
So perfect.
Well, someone in that line, we'll have a look at the lineup again because I think we were chatting about, which Indian middle order has really stood out. And there is a name of Shivam Dube who I think has been a real standout for Chennai this season.
Yeah, and not only that, he has started something. So they've been, if you look at how batting orders and coaches look at batting orders has evolved. So number one used to be batting order. This is the batting order. Then in ODI cricket, it became batting order will have pinch hitters. So pinch hitters, 1992 World Cup, Martin Crowe started using pinch hitters up front. Then they started using something called floaters, which, Rahul Dravid, Javagal Srinath is batted as a pinch hitter. Then they've said that Lakshman is a floater. He'll float up and down. So that's level 2. Level 3 with T20 cricket has come, depends on the number of overs. So Dinesh Karthik walks in at 2 if they're in the 15th, if it's a 15th over, he walks in at 2, he'll walk in at 6 if it's a 15th over, but he'll come in only in that period. And now this is another evolution where you say spin, he will hit spin. So when spinners are on, he'll be on. So I said, wow, it's one more way of looking at the game.
Yeah, it's a game where you play specialist roles at specific moments. So he's come in and they've said, you've got a clear role, young man. You get the spinner to land in the stands. So you go and hit sixes. And I'm happy for Shivam Dube because last year he had a terrible IPL. And I don't know if his role was as well defined. Plus, remember, he was playing in Mumbai. He was playing at Wankhede, he was playing at Brabant. They were getting the bowlers to bounce at him. Now, especially on this track, the ball is turning, hit it out of the ground. If they get the fast bowlers against you, just as well, because you play around with the plans of the opposition.
Yeah.
So he's been sent in. Now, when you have 8 batters, you can give that guy a role. Devon Conway's got that role. Ruturaj has got that role.
And actually, Mike
Shivam
Hasi spoke
Dube.
about it. He said that that's what we didn't do last season. And this season, we have a very clear role, like you spoke about the floater, and we'll use him when the spinners come on. So this has been spoken by the team management that we have a defined role. Yeah. And those stats, if we can have again, there were 13 sixes he's hit against spinners. So, like you said, the role is if a spinner comes on, put it to the stands.
But today, it's going to be interesting. Akshar is their key spinner. And if Kuldeep gets it right, Akshar and Kuldeep bowling to Shivam Dube in the middle overs. Because we often talk about bowlers who take wickets in the middle overs as game changers. Can you get wickets in the middle overs? We talked about Chahal, Kuldeep in the prime, taking wickets in the middle overs. Can you dominate and ensure you're going at 8.5, 9 in the middle overs consistently? Okay, here's a card I'm playing. I'm playing Shivam Dube. You get him out, doesn't matter. I'm playing 8 batters. But you go. And if there's a batter who's not afraid to get out, he's the most dangerous batter in the game.
Also, what happens, and what the point that Harsha has made, that so much of it is not just about the fact that Shivam Dube necessarily hits the ball out of the stadium every time. It's also that he's disrupted the bowling plans from the other end. So maybe, okay, I wanted to put Akshar here. I don't want to put Akshar here because he's a left-hander and, it'll suit Shivam.
Akshar's record against left-hand isn't great either.
Isn't great. So I'll hold back Akshar. I've disrupted Akshar's over. Maybe it's not completed. So a lot of things happen even if you don't score. Because you are disrupting somebody else's plans. You're making it difficult for somebody else to plan their decisions. And these are the kind of mind games that now coaches play against each other.
And last year he was 1 of 6-7. So if he's not doing well, people are saying, oh, hang on, he's using up a batting spot. Now with the impact sub, you're not using up a batting spot. So it doesn't matter. You throw one guy in and say, right, doesn't matter. It's like a battering ram. I just throw the battering ram in. It doesn't matter what happens.
Well, we'll have a look at Delhi's playing 11 and see with the impact rule, of course, they've this is their bowling 11. So they will get that extra batsman in. Lalit Yadav in and Ripul Patel in. So they've gone ahead with the same four overseas batsmen.
Who's their batting sub? Because that batting is looking a little
After 4,
thin.
it's looking...
Who is there? It's okay, DC subs.
So
they'll get Manish Pandey in.
Manish Pandey who will come in.
Because their other subs are Mukesh Kumar, Praveen Dubey, Chetan Sakaria.
Yeah,
So-
and a keeper batsman, Abhishek.
And Abhishek Porel. So clearly Manish Pandey is going to be playing there. Okay.
No, but it's interesting because the way they've put their team together, it's like literally a top-loading, front-loading batting machine. You know, they do their washing machine. They do it here up front. If those 4 don't get going, and I think that's what's it going to be. It's going to be 1 wicket down, fine. 2 wickets down, keep going. The moment the 3rd wicket falls, I think that's when the sort of breaks will come on. But till then, they'll keep going.
Well, this was their bowling 11 and someone who has impressed with the ball has been Mitchell Marsh because he's almost done the Lord Shardul effect. You throw the ball to him, you get a wicket. That's what's happened.
And you know, he used to be sharp. Mitch Marsh used to be 138, 140, really sharp. I just wonder whether he's made peace with his body. It says, if I bowl 138, 140 consistently, then I'm not batting long enough. So now I'm a batter and I'll pull my weight in with the ball. So he could occasionally let one rip, but he's become a different bowler now and see what he's done to the balance of that side now. Right? So Delhi are bowling. Right? Delhi are bowling
Delhi's
first.
bowling first.
So if you look down the Delhi side again, see what Marsh is doing to them. They're playing 2 or 3 spinners. They've got Lalit Yadav today. Suddenly Warner is saying, one of my bowlers has a bad day. Doesn't matter because now with Marsh, I've got 7 bowling options.
That's right.
So that is why they can say, okay, I won't play Sakaria. Okay, I won't play Mukesh Kumar because I've got, and if Khalil is expensive, that he is sometimes, I've got Marsh. So I've now got 6, 7 bowling options.
Joy, you know, Mitch Marsh spoke about that surgery he had, the ankle surgery, and he said he had it because he wanted to prolong his all-rounder career. And he said it's very important, not only T20 cricket, but otherwise. He realized the importance of being a batting all-rounder.
I think he needs to be because I think the balance of the Australian team also depended really about him and Glenn Maxwell bowling in different conditions. Glenn when the ball suits spin, him when it suits. And I think he's a better bowler than you give him credit for. You know, Harsha was talking in the dressing room. He was faster. He was a 140 plus bowler. And now he sort of reined it back, but the cutters and all, there's much more guile. And I think sometimes injuries are good because they force you to look at in very different ways. Those are great figures. One for 24,
good batters out, Joy.
27. Yeah?
He's taking good batters
Great batters out, yeah. And
Important key wickets is what he's doing.
also, he's bowling that first change very well. He comes on at that first change, takes wicket. And I was just thinking about this is very interesting. There's one other person who he spent a lot of time with in his childhood. So Sam Curran, Mitch Marsh's father, Jeff Marsh, was of course coach of Australian great, but also coach of Zimbabwe. And his assistant coach was Kevin Curran, who's Sam and Tom Curran's father. So in those days, there was a lot of Zimbabwe, as you know, was in a lot of turmoil and they lost their property and all. So for 3 years, the Currans lived in the home of the Marshes.
Oh, wow.
So Sam Curran and Mitch Marsh have sort of grown up together for a long, long time. So it's an amazing story that to see both these guys, they're both all-rounders, highly regarded all-rounders. And to think probably, you know, Mitch Marsh must have put an arm around little Sam Curran in those days and said, yeah, come son.
Yeah. Actually, Tom is more Mitch.
Story.
Tom is more Mitch Marsh. Tom is the taller guy who bowls and hits the deck. He's more the Mitch Marsh type, yeah.
No, it's such a lovely story because this heartwarming stories of the brothers, be it the Marco and Janssen and his brother or Hardik and Krunal the other day, or now we're talking about
but
Sam.
Mitch and literally, I mean, they have grown up like brothers in their childhood.
Well, someone who's grown up a lot in the last few IPLs is Ruturaj Gaikwad. And I'm very happy to see what Ruturaj Gaikwad's been doing because he's one of those calm, quiet, do my business, go back players and does it beautifully. So this call up to the WTC, yes, he is in the backups, but that's going to do a lot to his ego, you know, just to...
Yeah, and he's come out of a really good season. And he's got the ability to explode without looking lethal. You know, without looking like he's punch socking you in the jaw. But suddenly you say, oops, this guy's going quick. what he's also done is on the odd day that Conway takes off, you'll see he won't take off that much. And I'll be interested in seeing what he does today, because him and Devon Conway will be charged with the responsibility of figuring out the pitch.
Exactly.
They'll be told, you bat and you tell us, is it looking like 140? Is it looking like 160? Absolutely. And if it is 140, 145, go hard in the power play. So it's turning out to be a really good opening partnership. But if you look at some of his scores, he's actually scored very quickly most of the time.
Yeah.
And you get a very quick 30-40, it's okay.
And you don't realize it. You don't realize how he's reached there.
They've highlighted it.
And,
Yeah.
So in the last 5 games, see, he's scored really quickly. We see the strike rate is great. There's been a lot of discussion over strike rate. But if at all, for discussion's sake, he's not gotten that 50. And considering he's knocking on India doors, he's knocking on, it's always about having those milestone figures which people talk about, which...
Look, I'm completely against it. I think he's done marvelously for his team. He's playing the team. He's playing the situation. He's not playing anything else. And exactly, if he slows down, okay, and his team reaches 180 instead of 200 on a pitch where it should reach 200, then it's a real problem. And we've seen this happen before. We've seen many places where a batsman has tried to play at a strike rate, and you look later and said, that strike rate, that score at that strike rate is what killed his team. And that's something that you can never accuse Ruturaj of. I think Indian cricket has too much of it. I would give the selectors, I think the selectors have more sense than to go by that. What do you think, Harsha?
Most time. The easiest team to select is the team you don't have to select. Yeah, we all select teams and we think we're very smart because we don't have to select teams. And no one's checking whether our team can actually take the field or no. So I have a little thing for the selectors. But yeah, I like Ruturaj. The day we stop measuring individual landmarks in T20 cricket, I'll buy everybody in the crew and everybody outside an ice cream. Because you don't need, 50 should not be measured. So you look at, there's an innings there from Ruturaj where he's made 47. Right? Now, in another era, you'd have said, he missed his 50 by 3. How does it matter? He scored at 162. It doesn't matter. 50 means nothing in T20 cricket. So 47 of 29 is a fabulous start because in going for the 50, he might end up being 55 in 39 balls.
But it's just that, we were chatting about this, is we've grown up with these, this is how it should be with regards to, because see, finally, when you look back many years later, on paper, you'll say, itne 50 hai, itne 100s hai.
But T20 mein nahi karenge. T20 don't measure 50s. T20 measure impact, as DK used to be sitting here would tell us, measure impact, look at an average, if it's decent, look at strike rate, see what you've done. Absolutely. But even conditions change so much, so numbers are...
No, so Michael spoke about the white cap and he's been propagating it, is that after 15, those who go and strike really hard and all of that. But I mean, for Ruturaj's sake, I would like him to get like big number because, it always feels so good. Yeah.
He is like Sharma ji ka beta. No, absolutely that. Yeah. No. Ruturaj is very good. He's playing for the team, but he must get 100 as well.
What is this?
Look, I'll tell you, people like you are what has finished our education system. We tell children, study alone. You're competing against everyone. Then they go to the next stage, study alone, get into IIMs, do well, study, get into a good job. Then you get into the job and they say, it's all about teamwork. Where in all this has he done teamwork in his life here? He's been told helping somebody else is cheating. Suddenly he comes to a job and you say, dude, it's teamwork, work together. Where in our education system have we taught that here?
Even in our cricket, there's so much competition. That to come ahead, you have to be self-driven. It's almost a culture change to then suddenly say, become a team player. But T20 is good in that sense because T20 is the best team sport.
You have to be a
team player.
Yeah, you have to be a team player, but
you must be a good boy and score big. But you have to be a good boy and score big. Yes.
all I'm saying is he needs a 50 as well.
You'll give so much to the team if you get like a 75 and 48. So I'm saying that's what I'd like to see today.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to see today. I'm not saying that he should slow down and all that. I'm just saying he should be a team player and get big runs. It feels so good to see him.
I think Joy is really sledging you today without using the sledging language.
Well, our producer gave him the right because I've been on off. So he's just listening to the producer's orders.
I'm glad you had 75 or 48 because 75 or 48 is a good innings. 75 or 60 means the opposition is laughing.
Yeah, I mean 48 is a very good innings. It's a top order. So we'll play.
75 of 60s, you probably cost your team the game.
Yeah. We'll all become team players now and we'll let you do the honors of the joy factor question of the day.
Okay, here goes. This cricketer played his first test in 2006, second in 2008 and third in 2012. And in that last test, his captain was run out on 99. Who's he? Just a fun question that 3 tests.
Only played 3
Only
tests.
played 3 tests.
Yeah.
Did he run out the captain?
No, he didn't, fortunately.
Yeah.
That would have been a good reason for not playing him.
6, 8 and 12.
Yeah.
He'll be a team player and tell us in the green room.
6, 8, 12.
Tests.
Okay, think it through.
You'll tell us in the green room because you're a team player. You've
Of course I will.
about
Of
team,
course I will.
team play.
Of course I will.
Yeah. So
But by that time, about 6 answers would have come as well.
I'm sure they've come already.
I think it must be a team where people didn't play too many test matches. Maybe played a lot of one-off test matches.
He's trying to not give away too much with his face. He's putting on his acting cap.
Okay, I can give one hint.
No.
That person's playing in this.
We knew
That's all.
because
Oh.
your this thing is always linked to somebody who's playing or is involved on the day.
Not always. But anyway.
We'll find out what this is because we are going to do another team game now because Michael's taught me to become risky and become a team player and we're going to do the prediction games. I hope I have Delhi's run because my first leg of the IPL I failed miserably with the prediction games. I hope that changes in my second leg of the IPL.
Go for it.
Yesterday, the person sitting on that chair got everything right.
Was it Gaurav
GK?
Kapoor?
Yeah, you got everything right
He's very
yesterday.
good with his prediction game.
That's why we threw him out and sent him in the Hindi school today.
I like this. There's certain ruthlessness you got. Just out.
So I
Okay.
don't come anywhere.
Why
close
don't
for
you
two.
start? Because I'll give you an advantage.
Okay, let me start. Chepauk has, I will go with 160.
Okay, I'll go 168.
Okay, I'll up that. I mean, I can go down or up. I'll go up because I think these guys are brilliant batsmen under every condition. 179. So we've got a.
Okay, we've got it all covered. So
No, you could go to 140, but
we
yeah,
could
I'll
go
go
to
140
140 also, but 160, 168, 179. Okay, that's what we've got. We'll see if our team efforts are victorious because I have no confidence on my efforts at all because of my history in the IPL, but I've got this expert station masters who are very good at the prediction game, so we'll wait and watch. That's all for now, but don't forget to join us at the 10-over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು ಚೆನ್ನೈ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
हैदराबाद को 50 एक्सप्रेस पॉलोबोसी स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दें